I think I see JB Conway in there and my mom, Betty England. What's up? Let's see. I cannot scroll the chat, so I don't know if there was any comments before JB Conway. She said, blessings, greetings, dear friend. My mom said, hello. There's Sandy Wilkerson. Hey, hey. What's up? There's George Mitchell. Evening, all Jan sent me. Yeah, I was just Jan's. Boy, I'm getting friend requests like crazy today on Facebook. Uh, Little Boots. Hey, hey, what's up? Howdy, howdy. Treasure Hunter, what's up? Debbie's Home Place. Howdy, howdy. Oh, man. So the other day I got something in the mail. I'm going to be showing you guys that here in a little bit. You've probably seen it on the there's Simply Jan. Hi, Jan. Yeah, I don't know if you always go live at 6 on Fridays, but the Crockers had started going live at 7, and so I had been thinking about just switching it up to 6 instead of competing with them or anything. Which, I mean, basically there's no competition. Most everyone jumps over there to the Crockers instead of watching mine. So there's Eric Greenhorn One Acre, Edna Peoples. Saying Ed or Jan sent you over. Thank you. There's Crazy Ed, and that's something else I need to talk about tonight. Right now on the vehicle fund for Crazy Ed, we're at like $459. I got to go back and check and make sure I didn't miss anything that was supposed to go over into that account. I went and created a whole nother account so I can keep that stuff separate. But right now, I believe it's at 459. Let's see here. And also, I've got a bunch of lumber and stuff here at the house off the mill that needs to go out to Ed's. If there's anybody that can haul that out there. Right now, the trailer brakes are not working on my trailer, and I don't know why they're not working. I was messing with that a little bit today, and I can't figure it out. I thought it might be the relay, but the relay, I'm getting power through it. I'm getting power all the way up to the plug to the little control box, and so I'm afraid it might be the control box is bad. So I might need to get one of those so I can have trailer brakes. If I don't have trailer brakes, I can't haul that much on my pickup, and that the oak wood is pretty stinking heavy. Oh man, look at everybody hopping in here. Camp Silky, hello from Michigan, just came over from Simply Jan. Why, thank you. Brian's Loess Hills Homestead. I made it here. Beth Cornett, the Crockers aren't always live on Friday. I know. But Backwoods Mindset is live right now at 7 o'clock also. That's another channel I watch. So there's two channels that I watch that are now, like the Crockers don't always go live at 7, but Backwoods Mindset, I don't know what time he usually goes live, but I know tonight he's on at 7. So I don't know. It is what it is. There's two old people on the couch. What's up, Debbie? And Mark, if Mark's there too. I'm trying to stay caught up here. George says, it sounds like it. Yeah, see, I don't know what you're talking about. You got to sometimes tell me what you're talking about in there, or I get lost in the chat sometimes. There's Tracy Jordan. Said, hello, David. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Last few days, I wasn't feeling too hot, and I started taking more of my famotidine, and that kind of fixed it. I guess what it was is my stomach acid was getting real high. I wasn't really getting like heartburn or anything, but man, I was feeling terrible. Redbird Farm said, hi guys. JB Conway said no one should worry about the time any other go live. People can choose for themselves. Yeah. It kind of sucks, but I mean the problem is like when 90% of your viewers also watch another channel, and that other channel will draw viewers away from you, it kind of benefits you if you work around that sometimes. It is what it is, though. Just like, tonight I'd planned on going live at 6. I'd pretty much just changed my time to 6, but I was watching Crazy Ed's, and Simply Jan said that she was going live at 6. So I went ahead and changed it tonight, but I don't know. We've got 33 people in here, so I think it was well worth it. And I didn't see any notifications for the Crockers going live tonight, so it's not a big deal. O'Rourke's Littlefield. I'm getting tongue-tied. Hey, Dave, everyone goes live and I fall asleep. Yeah, like some of them go live pretty late. Like MT Homestead, I think they go live pretty late. And usually, like, I'm already done watching lives at that point, and I'm either getting ready for bed or I'm in the shop, finishing up something or something like that. So I miss out on a lot of their lives. There's Grumpy Grandpa Patriot Show. What's up? He said, hi, Eric. George Mitchell, your brake problem? Did I have a brake problem? Now I'm like way more lost than anything. Oh, shoot. Okay, you're talking the trailer brake problem. Yeah. So I'm guessing you were saying that's probably what it is. I don't know. Man, this chat is going crazy. And it doesn't scroll for me, so I'm sitting here like having to scroll it. Treasure Hunter said Debbie Falloon stalking. That's my stalker. Leave her alone. Let's see. David, have you ever watched OTWP? He is a card. Off the Wall Prepper? Yes, I've actually had Off the Wall Prepper on my channel before, on my live. And shortly after that, his channel exploded. Pretty crazy. Redbird Farm said, hello, Maddie at Backwoods Mindset. Is Maddie in here? He's supposed to be live right now. Well, look at there. Backwoods Mindset's in here. And he's supposed to be live right now, I believe. I got a notification, man, that you were going live at 7, but I had to switch up for Simply Jan. She went live at 6. I'd planned on just going live at 6 from now on, but tonight was a little different. Simply Jan, I ended up finding out she was going live, and I wanted to go watch that too. So crazy. Ultimate Acres said, just make a list of what times are popular on what days and then set your schedule. Yeah, the problem is the popular time is from 5 to 8. That's when all of my viewers are on YouTube. That, as far as what my analytics show, and that's probably what Backwoods Mindset's analytics show. That's probably what Simply Jan's analytics show. That's what the Crockers analytics show. Simple Life Reclaim, that's what theirs show. That's kind of when everyone like gets off work, they're at home, they're either fixing dinner or sitting down to dinner, and they turn on the YouTube and hop in there or whatever. Or like me, when it gets dark, that's whenever I usually quit doing whatever I'm doing and I get on YouTube and start watching lives and stuff. Man, we got Rebecca Davis, Touched by Yarn in here. Man, I forgot to bring that beanie in here that she made me. It's in my pickup, and my pickup's like across the yard hooked up to my trailer. I was trying to figure out the brakes on it earlier because I was actually tempted to use a little bit of that money for Ed's vehicle fund to use it for gas to actually haul lumber to him. But I think it'd be better if we can find someone, maybe if someone's going out that way, if they can, pick up some of this lumber, because I've got enough right now to fill up a pickup like twice. And I think most of it's about 10 foot long, and it's like 2x6s, 2x8s, stuff like that. And I need to see if I got some logs that I can mill up for like 3/4 or 1 inch. I probably do like 1 inch thick siding, so he can actually get started on building a small little shed out there or something. Backwoods Mindset said, I go live at 7 Eastern. Oh, okay. 7 Eastern would be, what time would that be? 8 o'clock Central? Or no? Man. 7 is, okay, so 6 o'clock. You go 6 o'clock Central, right? And see, me and Joy Bless Life was talking about that, or well, she was telling me about it, I guess, that they normally go live at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and it was like interfering with me. Like last Friday, I went live at 6, and it was kind of a thing. I was just like, you guys, you got to do you. I mean, I don't normally go watch their channel, because I've got a million other things to do. I was like, you guys just go live whenever you go live. It's not affecting me. That heater, it might get a little louder. I think it's picking up a little bit. I've got it set. Let's see. Well, it says error 09. Something went up with it. I think it's shutting down. Backwoods Mindset. I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Got Possum Run in here. Yeah, I think my heater just kicked off on me. I don't know what error 09 is. It might just be that it's too warm. I'll kick it back on here in a little bit. It might be that it was pumping too slow. So now it's probably going to get kind of chilly in here. Yeah, prime times are popular. Yeah, unfortunately for me, the only reason I took a Friday night live at 7 was because the Crockers gave that up and just kind of threw it out there for whoever wanted it. And I said, well, I don't see anyone else taking it, so I took it. And then it seemed like there were several others were jumping on there at the same time. 2 old people on the couch said, I don't look at analytics. Yeah, you probably ought to. I'm going live when it's antiviral time. That'd be like 3 a.m. Well, actually, if you go live at 3 a.m., you'll just end up with a whole bunch of Australian viewers. Backwoods said, I do 3 or 4 lives a week. It's stressful. I imagine, man. I love those videos you're doing. That's awesome. I don't remember if I seen the one where you were talking to Uncle Jerry. I think I did. Man, just too many of them here lately. There's Connie. Julie Ivor said it's 1:09 a.m. here in Scotland, so it's just as well you go live at the weekend. Where was that? Scotland? Wow. I don't even exactly know where that is. I failed geography in high school. And then I became a truck driver. Man, you guys are just chatting it up big time. We got Doc Schneider in here. I missed him. Crazy Ed said, David, so everybody can hear this or see this, I appreciate you coming out and helping me with my truck, and I appreciate you giving me that wood. You're a true friend. Shoot Dane. Thank you, Ed. I see that Ed, like, he has an immediate need right now. I mean, yes, I need help, but it's not like immediate. I could go get a job, and I mean, the only thing is like YouTube, me putting into YouTube is going to suffer if I go get a full-time job. I still have not heard back from the bank yet. I'm waiting to get a letter in the mail. I'm still getting those letters a couple times a week that is basically saying that they haven't heard from me, but I've called them and they said, oh, disregard that. It's in review. And I said, well, could you guys stop sending me these? And they're like, oh, it's a computer that sends those out. Don't worry about it. I'm like, you guys are stressing me out with like sending all these letters multiple times a week saying I need to get a hold of you, and I've been getting a hold of you. I see, I've missed a super chat. I see up at the top, it says 1999. Did I miss a super chat? Or am I just not to it yet? I've got to get around to it on making some round to it. Backwood said, I've been thinking about doing Saturday instead of Friday. That would work better for me because I don't really know of anybody that I watch on Saturday night. And I'm usually not really doing anything on Saturday. I got some waste oil I can bring to Tulsa. I don't need any more waste oil. Possum Run said error 09 usually means you need to fill diesel then restart it. Well, the fuel's full. I've been getting an error 08, and basically what I had to do was reprime it. Let me see. I'm going to unplug it and reset it here real quick so I can start it back up. And now my chat disappeared on me. Treasure Hunter said I was running the air conditioner today. We've been running the heat all day long. Our house takes forever to heat back up, but once it gets warm, all that brick and everything really kind of holds the heat, but it's kind of hard to heat. Until people on the couch, we go live at antiviral time. Susie Jacobson said, hi, Crazy Ed. I know you appreciate all who help you. Yep. I tell you what, that was rough out there. Walking through that snow, that was like, I've kind of walked back and forth a little bit out there. Like when I was out there before, when it wasn't snowing and stuff, I walked around this whole property and I was not as wore out then as I was this last time I went out there. It's just the snow and ice. Like you just feel like you're, missing, you're skipping step. You're like, you step forward and you slide backwards. And then you're always like, your foot is sliding off. It's twisting your ankles and stuff like that. Is just, man, it was a pain. And I know I turned off a lot of people with that video just being so long. And, me showing like the whole way up there one time, but that was one trip up there. A lot of that got cut out at other points and stuff. A friend of mine, he called me, he's like, man, you should have cut that video and made it only like 30 minutes long. And I said, well, for one, my analytics have went through the roof right now because I put a longer video out, and that video actually done really well. And people were watching it a lot further through than any other video that I ever done. And it kind of boosted my revenue pretty good. And so I was like, your opinion doesn't really matter when there's a lot of people that watch my channel and they're watching this through because they wanted to see that, and they kind of needed to see. It's really hard to portray just how long and arduous that track is. You know, you got 4 chains on your back that you're dragging with toe straps, and then Ed, he had that big old chain fall, and he had, I think, 2 chains up on his shoulders, and carrying that, and it's really hard to portray that in film and really capture, you know, exactly what's going on there. I mean, if you cut it all out, people are like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. You know, it's only a mile. Well, I believe it's actually more than a mile. So it was rough. I'll just say that. Backwood said, I just did a Cold Beer Ranch video today. Yeah, I got to go check that one out. I know I haven't seen it. I think the last one I seen was Uncle Jerry. You were writing a letter to Uncle Jerry, and the voice was like just freaking spot on, dude. I probably ought to do something like that. I've got those, what are they called? The hillbilly teeth or whatever I can put in. And I bought a couple of wigs at what is that? The Amazon, I don't know. It's like Amazon return store or something. This guy goes and buys like pallets of Amazon crap and sells it for like $1. And I was there and I was getting like drawer pulls and stuff for $1 for like 20 of them. It's like a whole bag of drawer pulls for $1, you know, for the cabinets and everything. I'm not real sure that I'll use them, but anyways, it was $1. And I seen a couple of wigs there, like a long blonde wig, and I was like, I can put that under my hat, and so it just looks hilarious. I'm gonna have to work on that character a little bit before I break it out. Doc Schneider, I would watch a live at 3 a.m. Man, you know, a lot of times I'm awake at 3 a.m. I'll go to bed usually around 11 or midnight, and I'll be up 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, moving around and trying to go back to sleep. It's part of England. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Foreskins. What a name. What type of boards are you sawing? They're oak boards that I'm milling up for Crazy Ed to build with, so he can build a cabin. Don Lee said, I'm late. Go figure. Marshall wanted dinner tonight. Awesome. Backwoods said, everyone stop, everyone, smash that like button. Okay, it's Greenhorn 1 Acre, 1999 super chat, a little something for your projects. Thank you, Eric. That will help out a bunch. That's awesome. Thank you. Julie Ivor said, I'm 20 minutes from Loch Ness. You must have heard of Loch Ness Monster. Oh, she's famous. Yeah, I've definitely heard of that. JB said, hiya, Roberta. Roberta said, I agree with what you are saying, David. His road and truck and not having a safe home makes his needs immediate and real. Yeah, definitely. Like, he was stuck out there, and I was just thinking, like, no one's going to go out there and help him. And so I was just fortunate enough that JB Conway sent me some money to be able to go out there to help him out. And I'm glad that we were able to get him unstuck, because I was really doubtful when we hooked up that little come along that he had bought and hooked that up to it, and it slipped on the chain. And I was just like, man, this thing is going to get somebody hurt. We need to go get a proper, like a chain come along, something that I don't have to worry about it breaking, pulling on that pickup. So, and we finally got it out. Turn this heater back on here. Hopefully. It looks like it's got fuel in the line. Somebody's telling me that they got timed out. I don't know exactly who that is. Hang on. Maddie got timed out. What the heck? I'm thinking it's YouTube doing that. Because I haven't seen anything in here of anybody timing anyone out. But they did it. They've been doing that to my mom. Cool people on the couch said he is behind, I think. Yeah, the chat is like probably flying right now. Oh yeah, I was wore out just watching y'all. It was crazy. Sounds like you need snowshoes. I don't know that snowshoes would have helped. There was ice underneath the snow, and the ruts just made it uneven. So and the ruts go all over the place, and you couldn't really see them. You would step on the top of it, and your foot would slide off to the side. And so we were just sliding all the time, like practically busting our butt. And then after I left, like the next day, Ed calls me up and he's telling me that he made it back to his trailer, but he slipped and fell and hurt one of his ribs. I mean, that's pretty serious. Like being that far out there, if you fall down and get hurt and can't walk back out to get to your vehicle, you could be in a really, really bad position. Grumpy Grandpa said, if anyone watches my show, it is better at 2 times speed. I really mean it. I thought it was 1.20. I think that's what you had said before. Roberta's Artistic Adventures said that video showed me how dire Ed's situation was, because Ed talks about how bad things are, but you showed how hard it is for him. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that was my whole point in how I edited that video, was to just show, how hard it is out there. I mean, when someone just says, well, I had to walk a mile, every afternoon and every morning in the snow or whatever, most people are just going to be like, big deal. If I go out here on this paved road in front of my house on snow and ice, and I walk 2 miles to go into town, which actually would be like 2.5 miles for me to go into town, that would be easier to do that than what it is to walk down that road to go to Crazy Ed's, because you have the mud underneath, you got ice on top of that, and then snow on top of that. There was about 7 or 8 inches of snow, and then there was like a good solid inch of ice, and then underneath, when you broke through, you were in mud, and it was hard as heck to walk in it, especially when you're carrying stuff. Crazy Ed needs a monster truck. Hey, so I've been looking at vehicles, and it's a 90-something Chevy 4x4. The bid on it is like $700. It leaks oil like a sieve. Like the guy who it got repoed from, he said he drove it to Louisiana and back, and every time he stopped and put gas in it, he put oil in it too. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like something I need to get for Ed. That sounds like another headache. He doesn't need another headache. And the Trailblazer that's there, my wife thought it was 4x4. It is not. It's only 2-wheel drive. It's got a small, I believe, 4-cylinder motor in it. It ain't worth it. It's kind of beat up and everything. It's not well taken care of at all. So yeah, I got to keep looking. Ultimate Acres, that's because Crazy Ed's Homestead attract curious people, and he shows the absolute truth of what he worked with for his environment, make people realize off-grid living is real, not a fad. Yeah, I agree with what Roberta said on your video. I don't remember what that was. Roberta's commented a lot of times, so. Crazy Ed said, I walk it twice a day. We walked it, I don't know how many times that one day, like 4 or 5 times in one day. And that was crazy. And then you get up at like 5:30 in the morning and do it again in the dark. It's nuts. Doc Schneider said, I worked nights for 35 years. Shoot, dang. I worked nights for a long time when I was younger. I worked the midnight to 8 a.m. at Petro from, what was it? I think I was 18, and I did that for like 2 years, I think. But it didn't take me long to figure out that nighttime stuff was not for me. And then like 3 years in high school, I went straight from school to work. So from 4 to midnight, and then got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, went to school, and did it all over again every day. Backwoods said, I haven't been able to comment. Yeah, I seen you sent me a messenger message saying that you got timed out or something. I don't know what's up with that. Man, that chat must be old. I can't click on it. Dadgummit. I'm trying to catch up here. Evelina Warren, what's up? Thank you for your prayers. There's my brother TJ. Hey, hey. Videos do not do that road justice. No, it doesn't, Jan. Not at all. There's Mary Jemison. What's up? Simply Jan said, hey, Terrence Hood. Guys, that's my little brother. Me and him were like Twinkies growing up. We were always interested in the same kind of stuff and hung out. Like, we were probably the two closest of the four brothers. Crazy Ed said lots of water. Yeah. Worst part about it for Ed was his feet were soaked in that cold. Yeah. I'd have been doing something to get my feet dried. That's one thing. That's my pet peeve, is I cannot stand my feet to be wet. I worked for a few years at a place called Truckomat, washing trucks, and basically just wore rubber boots all day long. I don't know why I wore rubber boots, because all they did was hold the water in. And the way your feet hurt when they're wet and cold all day long is, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but that is one of my big ones there. I just can't stand my feet to be wet. Is Jake in here? I seen Jake asked earlier if my place was on the way. Jake, I'm not sure exactly where you are in Texas, but I'm pretty sure you could come by my house if you are headed to Ed's. My place could be on the way. If you're coming up from, like, I don't know where you live in Texas, but if you're coming up from, say, Dallas, you would say come up 69 and 75. I think it's 75 in Texas, and it turns into 69 in Oklahoma, and run up 69 to I-44, or you can run up to 60 highway, run 60 over to Neosho, Missouri, then drop down south on I-49 to Goodman. It's just a few miles, and you'd be at my place, and then you can go back up to 60 highway and go on over to Springfield, get on Highway 65 and go south, and then on over to Ed's. So yeah, it could be on your way. If you're coming by here, just let me know. Send me a message or whatever, Jake. I'll give you my phone number so you can message me or whatever if you want to stop by here and pick up some of this wood and take out there to Ed. That'd be super awesome, because I simply cannot haul it all. There's a lot here right now to send over there. I'd like to mill up enough to actually build an entire cabin so he doesn't have to buy any wood. All he would need is what he really needs is an air nailer. He needs an air nailer because the oak, you're going to have to pre-drill if you're going to use a hammer and nails. If you want to drive nails through that oak, you're going to have to pre-drill it. But if you got a framing nailer and an air compressor, you can just pop them right through there. Let's see. I've got to get some siding boards cut up. I'll probably be working on the mill here pretty soon if it doesn't start getting nasty out. But I've been trying to get that table done so I can sell it. Ultimate Acre said, I'm born and raised in New York City. When I was little, my parents used to say I had to walk miles to school, go food and lumber shopping, then get back home. So now I get it at Crazy Ed's Homestead reminded me. You know, and the reason I help him is, for one, he's my friend, and for two, because I've been there. I've been at the bottom of the barrel. I know what it's like, you know, to need to, like, seriously need something. I'm not at that point right now. When I was growing up, it was very slim pickings. You know, I had my mom was by herself raising us. Most of the time, she's working multiple jobs, getting ripped off at most of those jobs. And she busted her butt to raise 4 boys by herself. So Ultimate Acre said, I honestly feel bad that I'm in no shape to help at the moment. We really need community support, praying for us all. Well, you can help just by simply watching his videos, share his videos, and that will help. I mean, and I wish that was all that we needed people to do. Unfortunately, there's, you know, times where, you know, we need money to be able to do something immediately or something for somebody. Like what I make right now on YouTube per month is not enough to really pay for gas to go over there and do anything. So thankfully, there are people in the community who's able to do that kind of help. And for the rest of you guys, you can just watch the videos, watch through the ads, and that really does help. Make sure you comment on those videos so it counts. Go back and watch some older videos and stuff. If you watch the same video over and over again, I don't think that really helps them. So you need to kind of go back and watch older videos. I am really trying to catch up in this chat here. Nunya text said, where? I'm lost. I live in Goodman, Nunya. Goodman, Missouri. Good man, right? Goodman, Missouri. And Ed lives over by Branson. I don't want to say exactly where he lives, but he lives over there. If you want to find out exactly where I live, just look up Hood's Custom Sawmilling on Google. It's going to show you exactly where my house is. My address is in my About tab, all that good stuff. So if you want to know where I'm at, then you can find it in my About tab. You've been in the box yet? Huh? What box? Oh my gosh. Might be dead by now. Okay, I'm lost at what you're talking about. If mystery box stinks, throw it out. What are you drinking? JB Conway said, I have an air nailer. He said, oh, I gotta leave Texas. Well, yeah. Two people on a couch. Sorry, Jake, we are getting in it tomorrow. So sorry, been busy. Jake, going to get in it. Grumpy Grandpa, Patriot Show. I'm stalking you, David. That's 2 stalkers now. Crazy Ed's Homesteads. JB Conway, can I borrow that air nailer? Well, looky there. It looks like I'm at the bottom of the chat. Mary Jameson said, God bless JB. JB said yes at Crazy Ed's Homestead. All right. So I wanted to show you guys something I ordered a while back for the bus, and I finally got it yesterday. Well, I got this right here at Walmart. You know what that is? That's my toilet seat lid, and I was messing with this earlier, and look what I figured out. This thing, it's a soft close toilet seat lid. Look at that. It don't even want to go down. You have to like push it down. What? Nunya, Texas said you need some wind for that air nailer. You got compressor? Nice crapper. Yeah, here's the this is the crapper right here. It's a Lowe's 5-gallon bucket, and I got this is the urine diverter. It's 3D printed. I got that off of Etsy for $129. So somebody sent me a little bit of money that helped out with getting that here a little while back. And Tracy Jordan said, super fancy. That soft, okay. I don't know if Ed has an air compressor that will run that an air nailer. I mean, I've got a little 110 volt Campbell Hausfeld air compressor that you could probably shoot like 2 or 3 nails and then have to wait like 20 minutes for it to build back up. But if we could actually get like a few people together, you know, maybe 3 people, 4 people, something like that, that know how to build and how to, you know, use saws and that sort of thing, that could maybe bring a saw, a couple, maybe a drill, a hammer, you know, some basic building tools. If you have, you know, experience in building or something, that'd be helpful. And then, you know, maybe someone who could cook for everybody, so no one else has to, like, you know, quit doing whatever they're doing to cook for everybody or something. And if we could put together a work party where we could come out, let's say we've already got all the lumber there, and we come out and we build a certain size building or something and just get it done in like a day or two. It would probably be the type of deal where you have to sleep in your vehicle, that kind of thing or whatever. But if we could do that, I do have an air compressor that I could take over there. I have an air nailer. I don't like loaning my tools out because I have to use them here for my stuff, what I'm doing. But I could take it over there for like a day or two or something to help get this stuff built. I do have an air compressor, but I don't have a generator that will run it. My generator is that little bitty, what is that, 2000 Predator right there. It's nice because it's really efficient. It runs about 12 hours on about a gallon of gas on about a medium load. So that's one thing that's really nice about it, but unfortunately it will not run my big air compressor. My big air compressor, it will run the air nailer. It'll probably run a few air nailers. So I could bring the air compressor out. We need a generator. I'm pretty sure Ed's generator would run it. But the thing is right now is like getting his generator to the front of that property. So yeah. Crazy Ed said, Jake, I know I'll need a air compressor. Crazy Ed said, JB Conway, no, I do not. I guess he's talking about the air compressor. That don't look lady friendly. Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be for me. So it is what it is. Um, where's that other? I think it's probably better than this right here, the 5-gallon bucket toilet seat lid. This is what I had out there at the 41.36. We got 41.36 dirt on it. This is my old 5-gallon bucket toilet seat lid. That's what I've used for years. This is actually the second one that I've owned. And the cool thing about the composting toilet is this right here. This is 3D printed. It snaps together. It's got a PC fan on the inside right there. Hooks up to 12 volt. And so on the front of this, so this is the urine diverter right here. You can plumb this hose in, right? And then there's another hose that hooks on right here, and it pulls air from inside and it vents it out the side of the bus. It also comes with this right here. This is the vent. This is a 3D printed vent right here that goes on the side of the bus. If you want to mount this on the roof, you just unscrew this right here, and then there's actually a piece of mesh, like nylon mesh, that you can put in here, and you just screw this on, and that nylon mesh in there will keep the mud daubers and stuff out, and this goes on your roof. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that texture of that 3D printing. That, I've got a 3D printer, and that right there is pretty darn good, to be honest with you. My brother, he's got a 3D printer also, so he kind of knows what it's like. I think he's probably done a little bit more than I have with the 3D printing. And this darn thing, the heater kicked off on me again. Let's see. Turn this thing back on. I'm gonna prime it. You guys can probably hear that pumping, but we'll let it prime for a second. I don't know what its deal is. We'll get this thing turned back on. Hopefully it'll warm it up in here. I'm gonna crank it up too. I think that could be the issue, is I was running it like really low, and it doesn't like to stay fired up. Ed goes live a lot. He has a lot of air. He will talk your ear off for sure. EB Bud diarrhea proof. I don't know about that. If you got that going on, you're probably going to be changing the bag out, changing it out pretty often. He might be better off doing screws then. Well, if you're going to put screws in the oak, you're going to have to pre-drill every hole. Otherwise, you're just going to break the screws off. If you try to run screws, if the oak is dry, you won't get any screws in it. If it's fresh off the mill, you can put screws in it. A lot of the lumber that I'll be taking out there will actually still be green. It won't be dry. So there's a certain way you have to put it together. Basically, you don't put two fasteners, two nails side by side in any one end of the board. You only put one. If you put two, the board shrinks as it dries, and it will split it out. It'll either split or it will break the nail or the screw off. So, you know, you just have to use one screw. Like if you're putting siding up on it, you put a screw up here and a screw down here, and that's pretty much it. Hey, that is what I said. I'm too old for that. Oh no, Dave got more crap. Roberta's Artistic Adventures. I made my own composting toilet back in 2012. Used a 5-gallon bucket, the toilet seat cover, and built a box for it. Also sewed up hundreds of family clothes to use with it. Family cloth to use with it. Washable toilet paper. Crazy Ed said, JB, I need to borrow it then. LOL. Nunya, Texas said, I just want to supervise and video. Nope. Nope, not going to work. You can't just supervise and video. You can set up a camera and work. That's the whole point, is come out there and get something done. And honestly, on something like that, I would probably just set my GoPro up somewhere and have it recording, and then I'd move it somewhere else, maybe stick it on my head or something. Like when I was out there helping Ed, I filmed a lot, but I would have the camera on my head or something. Like when we were walking the trail, I had the camera in my hand, but I was also carrying stuff. I wasn't, I didn't get a whole bunch of different shots and stuff. I would just like set the camera up and we would work. Crazy Ed said, David, I have a generator that will run it. Well, this thing said error 09 again. Shoot dang. Two old people on a couch said I'd be up for Mark going to a barn raiser. LOL. JB said, you got it. Crazy Ed's homestead. Honestly, you just need to make a trip over here. Crazy Ed said, I'll see what I can do. Dimpled texture. Yeah, it's kind of, it's like a dimpled texture. I don't know if you guys could really see that in the camera. It does have some lines in it, but it's kind of like dimpled, That's, it amazed me. Critter Creek said, remember to select live chat at top of page. Yeah, see, mine, it's not at the top of page, but yeah, I am on live chat. And I did that and it threw me all the way to the bottom. Nunya said, I build with chainsaw rough carpentry. Well, there you go. Grumpy said, I'll be the guy that tells you you're doing it all wrong. That ain't right till you all say, shut up, Grumpy. Crazy Ed said, shut up, Grumpy. Doing it French style, washcloth, sanitize, and reuse toilet paper gets expensive. And it's something else you gotta throw away. Ultimate Acre said, I have a generator, air compressor, and gun with nails if I can get picked up. I don't know where you live, Ultimate Acres. Roberta's Artistic Adventure said, practice for when there is no TP, Terrence Hood. It is essentially how people did it before TP was available. I always heard that people used corn cobs. Jake said, I'm not carpenter, that's why I use steel. I can weld it back on. Ultimate Acre said, I will help out. My truck training died. Got to get a new ride with all-terrain tires. There's Lori Carp. Hey, hey. Crazy Ed said, trust me, people, this is nothing that I want to do is ask for this kind of help. But right now I'm in desperate mode and I have to get something small built as quick as possible. And David is helping. Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's no telling when he would maybe lose that the trailer that he's been staying in right now. He told me how much they want for that small shed that's there right now, and I was like, they're freaking crazy. There's no way I would pay that much for it, and so we just need to get something built out there. I think a couple of people could actually get something built in just a few days. Um, I'm thinking, I don't know, it's kind of up to Ed, but I'm kind of thinking it would be something like a 16 by 16 or a 12 by 16 or something like that. It really kind of depends on the wood. Most of the wood I already have cut right now is about 10 foot long. Um, and most of the wood that I would be cutting is only going to be about 10 foot because that's what most of my logs are that I have here. Grandpa said, my Mighty Max will be easy to get out if stuck. It is lightweight. Yeah, but then you got to have like a come along or something, and you got to have something to hook to. uh, I thought I was done whenever I got stuck. Fortunately, the winch was able, the winch that I got on my trailer was able to pull me out. In Pedmore, hello David, you sound congested. Still sick? No, I'm not sick at all. It's just my nose, allergies and stuff. Simply Jan said, I'll hand out the nails, tools, and be bossy. I bet. Everybody will be there being bossy. You do this, you do that. And I'll just be like, leave me alone. I'll get it done. Nunya, Texas on the back 20 said, I can make it, no problem. Ultimate Acres said, I will come up with something. What state do you live in, Ultimate Acres? I have no idea where you live. This heater is bugging me now. I don't know why it's never said error 09 before. It usually just says error 08. I don't know if it's got air in the line or what it's doing. I don't know. Could be that the fuel filter might be plugging up. Man, we got 49 people in here. Simply Jan said, I can cook. I know you can. That's what I was saying is if there's somebody there that could, throw some hot dogs on or something, or cheeseburgers or something, something simple, that'd be awesome. Simply Jan said, I will cook for workers. So you know what that means? If you're there and you don't work, you don't get to eat. Northeast Arizona. Woo, that's a ways, man. With the price of fuel and stuff right now, whew, that'd be crazy to come that far out to help. Well, this thing, I'll tell you what, it's something else. I just had to unplug it to reset it. I'll let it prime for a little bit. Grumpy Grandpa is saying, Nunya, it will be a blast to all get together. Lou said we could all have a get together on his place also. 4x4 mud tires warranty to the floor in the ketchup full send. M. Pedmore says, sorry to hear you're having allergy problems, but I'm glad to hear it's not sick. sick anymore. Yeah. Yeah, like everyone's been like, man, you sound like you're so sick right now. I'm like, that's the way I've sounded for the last year. uh, when we have to run the house heater, there's like mold underneath the house in the crawl space or whatever. It's real musty. And when we run the big house heater, it just circulates that through the whole house. And I breathe that in and it messes with my allergies. That's why, that's one reason why I try to use space heaters most of the time. All right, let's see if this thing will run now. Let's hope so, because it's getting chilly in here. And now I just know there's somebody watching that's like, oh no, you put waste oil in that thing. Like I've had people saying, you shouldn't put waste oil in there because it's gonna wear out your fuel pump. It's gonna plug up the burn chamber, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, I've seen the videos where there's guys that this is all they do is they burn different stuff in these heaters, and the heater that they actually burnt used motor oil in, the burn chamber was cleaner than the one that used kerosene in. So, and it was even cleaner than the one that they used diesel in. And I've never heard of any of them having any problems with their fuel pump. There's a Facebook group called Chinese Diesel Heater Help or something like that. They have all the error codes and what it means, how to fix it. Simply Jan said, no worky, no eaty. Dawn Lee said, I'm in Scottsdale. All right. I can hear it, the flame burning in it right now. Let's hope it keeps going. Simply Jan said, at Ultimate Acres, yes, it will be on a fire pit. Yeah, and there's another fire pit about a quarter-mile walk away from the front of the property. I found it. I don't remember if I left that in the video. I think I did, where I walked by that fire pit that's just randomly laying out in the woods. That's probably from somebody who like started to move out there and then they just picked up and left. I don't know. Ed might know who owns that next property down. But, money don't monitor my friends at his custom shop. I will travel for this great cause. I can afford it. I will look up a tow company to bring me at Crazy Ed's homestead. Tow company? That'll cost you. Dave, what tentative dates are we looking at? I don't really know right now. I need to get a lot of lumber milled to where I'll feel confident that we got enough to, to deck the floor, to basically do board and batten, I think is what it would be called, around the walls, and to deck the roof. And then he would probably have to get some tin to put on the roof. Depends on what size building it is, whatever, as to how much we need of whatever. So I think he was talking about a 16 by 16 to start off with. That way he could, build onto it later on and make it like a 16 by 30 or something like that. So I think we're talking like a 16 by 16. So I've got a lot of milling to do before I can come up with a date. Crater Creek said I can blueprint or do simple floor plans with cut sheets. Any tentative dates? I don't know. Yeah. Like the trouble is like finding days that I can get on the mill and start milling. I haven't been able to start milling because my yard is all muddy. And today I've been working on the table because I need to sell that so I can make a little bit of money. Also, something else I was wanting to talk about is this right here. I got it done This is the Peachwood cutting board. I actually made it for the bus, but I'm going to sell it uh, if I can get enough money for it. So if anybody wants to buy that, I'm thinking like 200 bucks. Um, so if someone wants to buy it for $200 and have it shipped to them, pretty sure the $200 I can cover shipping. Um, but yeah, shoot me an email or something, and we'll work on getting that sold. Let's see. Critter Creek, I'm just trying to do a simple 16 by 16, nothing fancy. I can add on to it later. Yeah, I mean 16 by 16 square. Um, the the problem with that is going to be the majority of the lumber that I've got is going to be 10 foot or shorter. So we'll probably end up cutting it down to 8 foot and basically like splicing it in or whatever. I think I have a longer log here. I'm not sure how long it is. It's a white oak. I have to measure it and see if I can come up with like the main ridge beam and like the main middle floor beam, and then we can basically hang joist off of that center one and just make sure it's braced up. I think that would work. I don't think we really need like a blueprint because building a box is like very, very basic. Uh, I don't know. I've built things for years and years, so I can usually build stuff without a blueprint. It's shutting off again. I should have brought my propane heater out here. Ultimate Acre said at Crazy Ed's homestead, is there any dates in place for a get together? I may bring a family canvas tent so a few of us can huddle up for heat. But I'm serious though. Crazy Ed said I appreciate it. At Critter Creek, can you do that for my cabin? How much do you charge? Okay, that was Possum Run. Said at Critter Creek, can you do that for my cabin? How much do you charge? I guess that's for a blueprint. I have no clue who owns that property. I'm just not going to touch other people's stuff. Shiplap, rough edge, save time, money, and wood. Huh. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to spend the time milling shiplap. I'm just going to cut up boards, and board and batten is way easier than shiplap. I don't have a jig to cut a taper for shiplap or nothing like that. So I'm not going to be milling no shiplap. That's not going to happen. It's going to be board and batten. That's it. Plus the way we got to build with green, I don't think that would work too good with shiplap. The biggest problem I see with shiplap is the wicking of moisture into the wall, and then we would definitely have to do some kind of moisture barrier. So I don't know. It would basically be like my chicken coop is. It's board and batten, but I just don't have the strips on my chicken coop. I haven't finished it yet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably get with Jan and Ed to figure out some dates, and we'll have to discuss that some other time. Um, Everyone's just gonna have to email somebody as to what dates or something they might be free to be able to come out and do something. Possum Run said it's beautiful, David. Love the cutting board. Thank you. Ultimate Acre said, I'm loving this chat. We got 47 people in here, and I've been on here for an hour and 9 minutes. It's crazy. Nunya, Texas on the back 20. 12 foot wide is better, less support required. And yeah, but the problem is if my boards are 10 foot long and they've got a little bit of rot on one end, they have to be cut down. So you can't cut it down to 12 foot. And if you're going to have to add on, you might as well double it to 16. So they're going to be cut down most likely to 8. You might as well double it to 16. And you can just put a runner beam down the middle to hang all the joist off of. And 16 wide is what he wanted. So I mean that's why I'm saying 16 and then 16. 16 by 16 square, nice and simple, easy to add on to later on. If he wants to add on to it, he might actually want to use like store-bought lumber and build another one, because this one is pretty much going to be kind of, the little tiny cabin that Jason Crocker built, or the micro tiny that he built that had like the bunk beds in it. Well, he used fence pickets, and that's pretty much what this is going to be like. It's just going to be a little bigger. So if you want a picture in your head, like that's what we're talking about, is basically like what the micro tiny cabin that Jason Crocker built, but bigger and out of oak. So it's going to be hard and heavy. Let's see, Critter Creek, LOL at JB Conway. I was kidding. Just wanting to ride together. LOL, looking forward to meeting. I must have missed the rest of that conversation. Crazy Ed said, "Hey David, I can put 4x4s in the ground and then lay 4x4s across the top of them to put the floor joists on top. Would that help?" Honestly, I was thinking just build it on top of blocks, just like a shed. Put it on runners. That way, if you ever wanted to move it, it would be possible. I mean, that's another reason why I probably wouldn't want to build at 16. If you did at 14, you could move it a little easier. 12 foot wide would be even easier. But honestly, I would not put any wood on the ground, in contact with the ground at all. Putting 4x4 posts in the ground is not a good thing. 10, 15 years down the road, even if it's treated lumber, it will rot out. So I would not put any post in the ground. I would put cement blocks down and build on top of that. That's just how I would do it. If you put post in the ground, if you're doing pier and beam, you're asking for problems later on down the road with a lot of settling and stuff. It's going to be a heavy building being built out of oak, and I would say basically it's going to be like a shed. Later on, you're going to build another building, and this is just going to end up being your shed, is what I'm guessing. That's what I would plan for it to be. Treasure Hunter said, "I don't have a YouTube channel yet. Maybe soon." No taper on wood cabin, live edge overhang. Huh? No taper on wood cabin, live edge overhang. We could do live edge for like the shiplap. I don't know. The problem I've seen with shiplap is like water wicking, where the board, like this one's like this and this one's like that, right? And moisture wicking up into the building. When rain hits the side of it, the wood soaks it up, and it actually, I can't remember what they call it, but it wicks it into the building. Board and batten is like super simple, because it's just, I square up a cant and I cut a whole bunch of boards that are this exact same width, cut a whole bunch of them. It makes everything more uniform. I mean, yes, we could use live edge and everything, but the problem is every tree in the world has a taper to it. And so then you're going to have taper to work with and everything. It just makes things oddball and just not as easy to work with. Either way, require moisture barrier. Probably. I mean, we probably kind of need to do that. I don't know if Ed can get it or if someone else can get it. What does Ed need to do to get power to his property? Well, his new property, there's already a pole there. I showed that in my video. There's a meter loop right there, literally this close to the shed that's there. But they're supposed to be coming and getting that shed. So there's a power pole on his property, the new one. He does not have a place to live on his new property. He needs somebody with like a 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive that can come out and move his trailer down to the new property, which is right at the front. So it definitely, like, if you're going to go out there and help him, it needs to be 4-wheel drive. You need to have, decent tires on it. And it needs to probably be at least a 3/4 ton with good 4-wheel drive. I'd say the biggest problem is just the freaking potholes. The potholes have gotten pretty bad. And it's not so much like a problem for a 4-wheel drive. It's a problem of the trailer dragging the jacks and stuff. Critter Creek said, if we can refine the plans, me and JB can bring some lumber. I got a good reserve. We just need to know. We heart Ed, name a coordinator, and let's do this. Crazy Ed said, Roberta, all I have to do is call the power company and have it turned on through a prepaid plan. JB said, Mama V has my info if anyone needs it. Yeah, I know how to get a hold of JB also. There's a plug-in on the power pole. I just don't have good enough credit to have the power turned on, is what I'm guessing it says. This plug-in, I tell you what, I don't know why that thing is so hard to plug in. To have the power turn on like everyone else does at their houses, I have to do a pre-planned setup. Critter Creek said, Ed, please let me help design that for now and the future, brother. Whatever you want to do, Critter Creek, I'm okay with it. Steel post, bugs don't like it. You'd be dead before it rots. Yeah, unfortunately, steel post cost money. I don't have steel post to donate. So that's the problem we run into there, Jake. I've got wood and a lot of it. And so, I mean, that's what I'm working with here is like, we're trying to, keep this as cheap as possible because, this is all like, people donating to do this and everything. So it'd be great if we had, steel post and the ability to cut it and everything out there. Crazy Ed said, okay, Dave, what do you think about a 12 by 20? I think that would be a lot easier to build. But the thing is, like with the lumber that I have here, it's only like 10 foot or maybe a little over 10 foot. And on a lot of them, on the very end of them, on some of these 2x6s, the end of it has got some rod in it. So that has to be cut off, which is probably going to make it about 8 foot long. And if you're trying to build it 12 foot with 8 footers, why not just go ahead and build it 16? You see what I'm talking about? It's a lot to do with the materials that we have to work with. The stuff I have here, I don't have like 12 foot long logs or anything like that. I'd actually have to go log logs, which I can't do right now because it's so muddy around here. I can't even get down the back hill right here at my property. The only other option is for me to buy logs from a logger. That would cost me a lot of money. I've got logs sitting here. So if we can build with what we got, and we could do a 16 by 16, you're just probably not ever going to be able to move it because 16 wide going down the road is a very big oversized load, and that requires a lot of permits and everything. So it'd be oak anyway, so you wouldn't move it. You just simply wouldn't move it, even if it was a 12 by 20. So I'm saying we just need to go with 16 by 16 because that's big enough. Uh, and with a good sized wood burning stove, you could heat that. Um, yeah, I would say 16 by 16. Well, look at that. We got Barack Obama in here. He said, "Hey, folks, what's up, Barack?" uh, Treasure Hunter said, "I would do a 2 by 2 concrete pad with concrete blocks." Hmm. Yeah. And kind of the other thing is like um, the shed that's there has to be moved, I think, in order to get the blocks, unless somebody can bring blocks to put this on, because there's no blocks out there. Terrence Hood said, "Send them a certified letter going to cost them $100 per day. The shed remains on the property in the way. Maybe they will change their mind." There you go. That's how you do it right there. Storage fees for being on your property. It's in the way. But you do have to send a certified letter so that you can prove that they got the letter, and they will either hurry up and get out there and get it, or they'll forget it and leave it, because you can rack up that bill on them pretty stinking fast. Just like when somebody impounds your car at a salvage yard or whatever, or a wrecker yard. They charge, I mean, there's a maximum you can charge. It's like 50 or $100 a day for storage, and that's sitting on your property, so you can actually start racking up a bill on them. Maybe they'll leave it. Ultimate Acres are coming to repo the cabin. I refuse to pay the other person's late fees. Yeah, Ed, just send them a certified letter that you're going to be charging $100 a day for sitting on your property. And then when they come there and they ruin, like when they tear up your property with the equipment and everything, then send them a bill for having to fix all the ruts and everything in your yard. Treasure Hunter said, "Is it cheaper to pay the late fees or build a new cabin?" Well, it's cheaper to build a mansion. They want, I think he said, $10,000 for that, and somebody else has already paid on it. It's been repoed several times, and they basically want what it would cost for a new one. And I think he said $350 or $360 a month. So with the land payment and the cabin payment, it would be somewhere around $800 a month. That's what I pay for my house and my 2 acres. That wouldn't make any sense. I throw them on your pile. I don't know what you're talking about there, Jake. Oh, I got 4 double pane windows. That's what he said. That would be cool. 4 double pane windows. It would be cheaper to build a cabin, and then I will not have no monthly payments. Exactly. Crazy Ed said, "Thank you, Jake. You're a good guy." My wife said that I ended up with 5,000 square foot house. Uh, Julie Ivor said, "Is there not a concrete pad there from the house that burnt down?" He said the footers are falling apart. Well, there he is, right there. Julie, the footers are that are there that the house was sitting on are so rotten they just break apart. Treasure Hunter said, "You can bill anyone for anything." Yep. Getting paid is a different thing. That's a whole different story. Uh, but, if you can afford a lawyer, you can cause them enough grief and stuff to where they just give up. Critter Creek said, "I apologize, Ed, and group. I digress. I just get stoked about my friends planning for now, future possibilities. I get overbearing. Sorry, I will be happy to show up anyway. Help with." Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to try to put a date or anything on like when we can do this, because I mean we need building materials, and I've got to mill up the wood to have the wood to build with. Because right now I've just got like 2x6s, 2x8s, stuff like that out here. I've got some pretty big piles of that. Um, I've got some oak dunnage. I think is basically like a 3.5 by 3.5. Treasure Hunters, you're correct, David. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. You have nothing to be sorry for. Critter Creek said, "I'll email you my phone number at Crazy Ed's Homestead." Got fallen Arkansas veterans in here somewhere. I missed them. Well, it's nice when that heater runs, but it sucks when it shuts off. I'm hoping it doesn't shut off again because it's getting chilly. Uh, Roberta said, "You are fine, Mickey. We need enthusiastic friends who are excited about helping each other." Yeah, I mean, if we want this to go faster, I could use some help on the mill, and we can get a lot milled up. And then we need people to haul the lumber out there, because I'm a couple hours away from Ed. Well, a few hours away. I don't remember how many miles it is, but it's like 3.5, 4 hours, I think, from here to Ed's. Don Lee said, "I got to run. Marshall needs some assistance." All right, Don Lee, we'll see you. Nunya said, "Screw that. Let them have it. Build something." Yeah, that's why I've been talking about us building a cabin out there. He said, "I do have a 30-pound box of nails and a 10-pound box of screws." Yeah, unfortunately, if you use nails or screws, if the wood is dry, you will not drive nails with a hammer into that wood. You will bend every nail, I promise you. But if you use an air nailer, a framing nailer, and you can't use regular nails in one of those nailers, you got to buy the collated nails specific for the nailer. Mine's a Harbor Freight one, and I do have some nails for it. So, I mean, it might or might not be enough. Critter Creek said, "U and D Hood's Custom Shop, just try and figure a plan and contact me. I got some wood, lots of it. LOL, you two chat and decide what you think. We will talk." All right, Critter Creek. Yeah, see, when you say you got a lot of lumber, I don't know like what lumber or how much. Basically, right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to mill up everything we would need to build with. And so far, like what I need to mill up is siding. Um, I've got some 2x6s, 2x8s that are oak. It's not pine. Um, Cindy Brown said, "Oh, I got to head over to CRC to mod." Oh shoot, dang! I forgot they go live on Fridays at 8:30, and it's about that time in it. Okay, gotcha, Charles. I've got a little bit of nails left and some smaller ones for the floor for a air nailer. Crazy Ed said, "God, I love my YouTube community. You guys are freaking awesome." Julie Ivor said, "You're pretty awesome yourself, Ed." Hey, Ed, just guess what this means. Like, whenever you are set and you don't have any more bills or anything, then you're going to be right there with me helping people out. That's the goal here, is to get you to the point where you can help others and pay it forward. So that's all we're going to ask you to do, Ed, is whenever we get you up on your feet and everything, that you can produce videos and everything, and then go out there and continue helping other people. But I've been on here long enough, guys. I'm going to have to get with Ed after I start getting some milling and stuff done. We get a little closer to being able to do this. It needs to happen here pretty soon. So I'm going to have to be spending some time on the mill and get some stuff done. And you guys are just going to have to email Ed and find out some dates or something. We'll get it figured out here pretty soon, and figure out when everyone can come out and get this put together. So thank you guys so much for hopping in here and chatting with us tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good one.